Hi, Jack. Morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're gonna start Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. Have I been okay? My body is like going in an up and down kind of like roller coaster of deciding that it's okay and it's not okay. Currently, despite my upper back being okay, something is wrong with my lower back now, and I can only assume that it's either because of the weather or because of the compensation of the way that I was walking when my upper back was hurting. And now the base of my spine, right next to my tailbone area, when I lean over, bend over, or whatever, it crunches like a wafer. It does. I don't know if it's like decompressing, but decompressing in a bad way, because it like makes this like crunchy feeling. But it's okay. It'll be fine. I've recently taken ibuprofen. I am stacked up with pillows like usual. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. Hi, Sai. You're gonna see somebody about this? It might be the chair? No, I'm laying in bed. My bed is my chair. And I've done something to my lower back in the past, my tailbone area. I'm pretty sure it's just old injury stuff and things that I think that I may have in terms of like medical issues. That's the only way that I can think of it. I've never been officially diagnosed with things, but I think that I have certain things, I'm pretty sure. Hold on. Eyelash in my eye. Because I already know the things that Mama Faye has, I probably have. It's not like horrible. I just have to be in like 20 different positions before I can sit down. It's okay. It'll probably start to feel better within the next couple of days. We're finally getting into Trials and Tribulations. After so long. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. We begin. Thought I might have to shift myself over. Huff, huff. How did I get into this mess? Wait, who is this? Who are you? Why? Why did I do that? Who is in trouble this time? Oh, what's Phoenix? That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Hi, Grima. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. Oh, that's a sweater. It wasn't me. I didn't... Oh, so they've both been on trial at least once in their life. I didn't do it. Is this how he felt like that he really wanted to get into? 5 years earlier, Mia Fey, second trial. Wait, are we playing? We're playing as Mia? Ooh. Ooh. Hold on. Let me shift myself over just a little bit. Right over here. April 11th, 1940 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Have we been in any other lobby before? It's always been number 3. I'm playing as Peach. Well, with this position that I'm in on the screen, it sort of makes me look like I am the character that's talking. As with most RPGs are set like this. Is the mecha ready for work again today? It's working just fine. The lower back be crunchy, but it's decent. It's finally time. I'm kind of nervous. Ooh. Oh, Mr. Grossberg. Good morning. Hi. Mia, please calm yourself down. You're going to get yourself arrested for suspicious behavior. Why? Because I'm standing here, like, racking up my nerves? What are you talking about? I am relaxed, Mr. Grossberg. Look at me, I'm relaxed. This is like when Phoenix first started. Let go of my lapels. You obviously haven't got the temperament to be a lawyer. I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm so nervous today. That's right, this is your first time in the big leagues, isn't it? Well, never fear, my dear. I, Marvin Grossberg, am at your service. Actually, this is my second time in court. Still, you surprised me, with your earnest request last night. Let me handle this case, you suddenly said, and quite forcefully, too. I just found out yesterday about the case, I mean. Which means, do we know nothing? We know nothing. What? You already learned all the relevant facts? Well, about that, you see, I mean, of course I have, I think. We're doomed. Date and time of death, 4/9 at 3 p.m. Cause of death. Cause of death. Did I say cause of deck? Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. Did I read death and shock at the same time? I'm watching Demon Slayers with Dad's Always Shall Be Lurking. Hi, Wubs. Phoenix at age 21. Baby. My client, a third-year art student at Ivy University. He currently has a cold. Art student. Doug Swallow, the victim, he was a fourth-year pharmacology student at Ivy University. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim dated the victim Doug Swallow up until 8 months ago. Why? What did he find out? Dahlia Hawthorne. What did they find out in the small time that they've been dating? Okay. Oh dear. In any case, don't let our client see you so nervous. You're so nervous? You're so nervous. She was the real culprit. You see, the poor young man in the pink sweater over there, that's our client. Did he get that from his girlfriend? Oh god. Dahlia Hawthorne. What's the P for? Is P for Phoenix? Good morning, Good morning there, everybody. Good morning. Try to keep smiling, Mia. I just want to say I'll give it all I've got. Yep, it'll be fine. No prob. Oh dear. For the sake of my own throat, I am not going to be I am not going to be making these sound effects. Because already my throat's kind of feels kind of weird, but it's not like full on hurting. But I'm pretty sure by the end of this, since we're going to be streaming this for several hours, there's certain noises I'm not going to be making. Marvin is the culprit. I don't think that we can take guesses that Marvin is the culprit. I think within this setup, we have a faint idea. What's wrong? Do you have a cold or something, Mr. Rye? Mr. Rye? Actually, it's Wright, like the Flying Brothers. People screw it up all the time. And yes, I have a cold. This is what the mask is for. My doc says this way I won't give it to anyone else. Be kind to others, he says. Right, Mr. Wright, you have nothing to fear in court today. If you are truly innocent, I promise I will save you. Please let go of my shirt. That mask is doing absolutely nothing. What kind of elastic strings do you have on that mask? What kind of velocity do you have in sneezes? That's right, he's the one on trial, not you. He's the one who should be nervous. You need to stay strong for your client, Mia. I love that how they both act so similar with how they go about their working as an attorney. Though somehow Mia gained the confidence of a gorilla. Hi, Bob. What kind of lungs does he have? It's for him being sick, he has some steel lungs going on. My name is Mia Fey. I'm pretty sure I'm still pretty new at this lawyer thing. The first time I appeared in court was a year ago. But that trial traumatized me so badly I thought I'd never set foot in another courtroom. What happened? I don't think we'll get an elaborate story on that one. It's been 1 year since then, and well, here I am again. But this time I'm going to win. For my client and for myself. April 11th, 10 a.m. District Courtroom number 2. Thought we were in lobby number 3. Oh. The P on the shirt stands for Peach. No, it doesn't. Court is now in session for the trial of Phoenix Wright. The defense is ready, Your Honor. It's Pain! The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. I forgot how funky his hair is. The defense today is Miss Mia Fey, was it? Yes, Your Honor. Is there a problem? I was under the impression that Marvin Grossberg was to be leading the defense. Yes, well, you see, Mr. Grossberg had a bit of an emergency. Why can't you just say you're just taking over? Not to make excuses. Emergency? Wasn't that him standing right there next to you? Yes, well... You're just a rookie. Are you sure you can really handle this? People can beg to differ that the judge is a rookie with how he acts in court all day, every trial. Don't let him scare you, Mia. Did I say I think I added a K in the midst of that word. Of course, Your Honor, I think. Well, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, please. Well, I can't believe a veteran like me has to spend his time babysitting a new defense lawyer. The world shall know pain in the form of a toupee. Don't worry, little girl, it will all be over soon. The Brinkles aren't brinkling? They never brinkle. What do you... They never brinkle. When did I ever have proper brinkles? Why is he playing with his hair like a cat toy? That's his coping mechanism. This is how he looks confident, but it's just a pompadour. What was that all about? Was he trying to trash talk me? Well, trash talk him back. Now that I'd like to proceed with a summary of events on the day in question. The incident occurred on the campus of Ivy University. The murder victim was a student named Doug Swallow. He was a fourth-year student studying pharmacology. It sounds like he was a very bright young man. 3 p.m. Yes, well, next we have a photo taken at the scene of the crime. Oh. Ugh. This might have been just an accident. Students discovered the scene shortly after the murder. They found the victim's body. That just kind of looks like... That just kind of looks like he smacked his umbrella into the line and died that way. Not that somebody murdered him. Somebody would have to take out the cord. The defendant, who had obviously bungled his getaway, they then called the police. Police. I feel like I stumble over my words more when I have like stuffy sinuses. Oh my god. The certainty makes the defendant look very suspicious indeed. Very well. The court accepts this photo into the record as evidence. The crime took place at behind an IVU building. Can I take a look at that again? Yeah, that just looks like a horrible, horrible accident. How is this murder? By the way, I can't quite tell the cause of death from this photo. He. Your reputation for sagacity is well earned, Your Honor. Sagacity? The truth is that the victim died a rather unusual death. An unusual death? What do you mean, Mr. Payne? Well, perhaps the defense would like to take this question. Huh? A simple question. I thought I might loosen you up a bit. I'm a genteel man, if you will. A what? Stand up to it, Mia. Show him what you're made of. Aye, perfect opportunity. Well, what was it? The cause. Go on. Please say you know at least this much. I'm so sorry. I didn't get a chance to read through the whole file. My hemorrhoids are beginning to act up. Sir, you need to unclench that butt. Relax the butt. My hemorrhoids. I don't think that you need to be telling us about your hemorrhoids, good sir. You might need to see a doctor about that. Why hemorrhoids? Oh, no, I'm sorry for your butt. At least you're standing and not sitting down right now. That'd probably be super uncomfortable. Wow. Now see here, the detail of the case are filed under the court record. You knew that already, didn't you? Ah, the court record. I think I can see that by pressing the R button. All of the weapons we need can be found in the court record. Take a good hard look at the data there and think carefully before you answer, my dear. Yes, sir, I'll do just that. I've got to stay calm. I can't let that prosecutor get the better of me. The court record. Okay, let's take a look. I just pressed the R button here. We know that he died on 4/9 at 3 p.m. Cause of death was a fatal electric shock. My good sir, please be more careful on your private life. We don't know how he got the hemorrhoids. Don't take a good look at his butt. Now then, would the attorney for the defense please answer the question? What was the cause of death? Asphyxiation, electrocution, hypothermia. Electrocution. The electrocution could have caused asphyxiation, though. According to the court record, it was a fatal electric shock. In other words, electrocution. Electrocution? How could such a thing happen? Did the murderer use some type of new super powerful stun gun, perhaps? The answer to that will become crystal clear as this trial proceeds, Your Honor. But before that, there is one more vital issue. What's that? Why, motive, of course. Can you stop messing with your pompadour or lack thereof? It's so distracting. There was some bad blood between the victim and the defendant. Bad blood? What do you mean? Oopsie, I'm terribly sorry. You're the defense attorney, so you must know all about it. I shouldn't be stealing your spotlight like this. I really don't like this guy's smug attitude. That's Winston Payne for you. He's one smooth operator, if you catch my drift. Why are you calling him a smooth operator? If you catch my drift. I could make a joke right here in regards to the hemorrhoids, but I don't think that I will. That might be in bad taste. They don't call him the rookie killer for nothing, you know. We'll let that we'll let that joke take on its own imagination. You guys can probably put 2 and 2 together. Now then, let's hear from the defense. What was the source of bad blood between the victim and the defendant? And this time, I would like to see some supporting evidence. Evidence? No need to get all worked up over this. As I said, all of our weapons can be found in the court record. Find the evidence you need and then shove it into old Greybeard's face. Yes, sir, to old Greybeard's face. Don't call the judge that. Mr. Grossberg, try to set a better example for the young lady. Yeah, evidence isn't the only thing in the court record. People's profiles are as well. You could toggle between profiles and evidence with the R button to be sure to... So be sure to go over it all. Pain smooth weird times. We don't know the relationship between Pain and Grossberg. Now then, let's see what you got. What was the cause of the bad blood between Phoenix, Wright, and the victim? We can utilize Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne. Phoenix Wright's girlfriend dated the victim, Doug Swallow, up until 8 months ago, so it's like fresh wounds. The reason for the bad blood between the two of them was this woman here. Dahlia Hawthorne, is it? Very good, Miss Faye. You seem to have picked up on at least this much. This woman is the girlfriend of the defendant, Phoenix Wright. I don't remember this case. Did I ever play this one? At any point? But up until about 8 months ago, she was with the victim, Mr. Swallow. Clearly, she has some part to play in this story. Ah, he's done it again. Before the cross-examination starts, he's already got the judge thinking like he wants. Very well, Mr. Payne. Please call your first witness. If it pleases the court, the prosecution would like to call Mr. Phoenix Wright. What, the defendant himself? Well, Miss Faye? It's fine. After all, Mr. Wright is innocent, right? The defense has no objection. That might be bad. Very well. The court calls Mr. Phoenix Wright to the witness stand. There's the boy! Witness, please state your name and occupation. Yes, my name is Phoenix Wright. My job is, well, right now I guess I'm a suspect. That's not your job, honey. You're a student. He's right. Right. You're right. No, he means what did you do before you were arrested? Oh, poor Phoenix. I was a university student. Mr. Wright, you understand that you are suspected in the death of your... What? Well, I didn't do it. I'm innocent, I tell you. I'm telling you I was... Oh my god, he's dying. Would the defendant please refrain from passing on his cold to the rest of us? Give this man a hazmat suit. That cold mask, or the flu mask is doing nothing. It seems the witness has something he wants to say. Well then, Mr. Wright, please tell us about your relation to the victim. Right away, Your Honor. Hi, Sea Turtle. The victim and I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. British wannabe? Why is he a British wannabe? I see. So you hardly knew the victim. Right. Like I said, I'm not a killer. Oh god, I'm burping. Sorry. I have a Sprite with me here. It looks like the judge understands. You're being naive, you know, too naive. Huh? He. It seems that you forgot one small thing, young lady. And that would be... This witness still has to undergo something called cross-examination. Cross-examination? I love that between all of the games they reteach you how to play. He's right, and it's the defense's duty to carry out the cross-examination. The purpose is to determine if a witness's testimony contains any contradictions. Contradictions? If a witness is lying, their statement will conflict with the court record. But Mr. Wright is my client. Even if he is your client in court, all lies must be struck down. As a lawyer, that is your duty, you see. What does he mean by that? He's just... Is he saying that the testimony just now? That there was a lie, a contradiction? Now then, your cross-examination, if you please, Miss Faye. Please, Wright, tell me you haven't been lying. You wouldn't do that to me, would you? Well, technically, everybody seems to be lying in court until last minute, where only then does the truth come out. The victim and I. I admit I was there, but I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. Press like usual. Everything. When you say there, you mean the place where the victim was murdered. Yeah, sort of. The place where something happened anyway. Oh, I missed you, Pain. Something you can't hide what happened. We have photographic evidence. Oh my god. Give him some NyQuil. Anyway, Mr. Wright, what were you doing at the scene of the crime? I thought you said you didn't know the victim, Mr. Swallow. It was just a coincidence. We bumped into each other by accident. A coincidence, huh? But I'm not a killer. All I did was find his body. The objection! You say you found the body, so who called the police? Huh? Oh. Unfortunately, it was some other student that notified the police. Other students? That's correct. They were witnesses. Ah, so they just had the assumption. They had the assumption that he was the murderer. Because he happened to fight him, probably panicked. Somebody else came up and saw things happening, and then assumed murder. Witnesses who saw the defendant standing there next to the body in shock. Oh, that's a pun right there. Literally. They were both in shock. One figuratively, one literally. And he was standing there menacingly under the light. Right, is this true? Oh god, this poor man. Would you stop sneezing every time you're in a bind? Well, it's true that I was pretty shocked when I found the body, but I hardly knew the guy to begin with. Was there... Okay. Hardly knew the guy to begin with. So you didn't know his face or even his name, right? Right. Well, no. That is, I mean... So, which is it? Did you know him or not? You sneeze! Now see here, you can't avoid the question by sneezing all day. Well, I guess I did know his name. News to me? Why didn't you tell me that before? Well, you barely learned anything about this case so far. I heard he used to date Dolly. Who is this Dolly person? Oh yes, that would be the defendant's lover, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, I see. Ah, young love, so bittersweet. But that's all I knew about him. I never even talked to that stuck-up British wannabe. Sounds like you knew him well enough. Mr. Wright, you say the following in your testimony. I hardly knew the guy to begin with. That's right. I mean, why would I even... But that doesn't sound right. If you hardly knew him, then why would you say that the victim was a stuck-up British wannabe. Oh? 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 Oh, he sneezed. Well, Mr. Wright? No, it wasn't me. I'm not a killer, I swear. Sir, you just need to get your facts straight. Mr. Wright, I will give you an opportunity to revise your testimony. How is it that you knew the victim was, as you put it, a British wannabe? Yes, well... He was always walking around with a huge Union jacket on the back of his shirt. Where? Or maybe that's just a coincidence that he's not wearing that shirt today. Did you see it at the crime scene? The Union Jack, I mean. Yes, that's right. I saw it at the crime scene. That's why I figured he must love British stuff, see? That's a lie. It's true, cross my heart. I swear I didn't do it. He's acting fishier than the salmon I ate last night. That sounds like you ate bad salmon. May I ask you something, Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor. What is it now? Who is this person anyway? This Union Jack fellow. The Union Jack is the name of the United Kingdom's flag. Oh, I see. So you mean like the Stars and Stripes, right? As usual, Your Honor, your insight astounds me. How did you become a judge? Hey, something just occurred to me. Isn't there something strange about this bit just now? Mia, there's a contradiction here. Mr. Grossberg, quickly now, show the boy you mean business. With evidence, I mean. Okay, Mia, check the court record carefully. Well, my dear, do you think you can manage on your own from this point? I can handle it myself. I have a few cases up my sleeve, but watch me butcher it. 1 year ago, I was in a courtroom just like this. I can do it. I can handle this myself. You mustn't try to bite off more than you can chew, Mia. I'll be fine. I know what I have to do. Remember, you can always press him to get more information. Oh, and one more thing. When you're going to state a contradiction, make sure you present some definitive proof. Okay, Mia. One more time from the very beginning. Beginning of his testimony. I've never seen him from this angle, and yet it makes so much sense. 1 second, I'm gonna adjust here. I'm gonna take the blanket off my lap because the room is starting to get a tad bit toasty. Okay, so we can utilize the last... Probably just utilize this one, yes? Or... Let's save our first save! We'll use slot number 5. Trials and Tribulations. Okay. We could either use the first or the second one, but since he talked about specifically the jacket on this one, we'll use this one. Present. Photo. Objection! Are you certain you saw the Union Jack? Yeah, I'm sure. It was right there on his back. Miss Faye, is there some point to this line of questioning? Your Honor, please take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, there's absolutely nothing on the victim's back. Hey, wait a minute. He's wearing a leather jacket. The Union Jack was on the back of the t-shirt he was wearing. I was under the impression that you accidentally came across the body. But if that was really the case, then you wouldn't know that, would you? You'd have no idea at all what he was wearing underneath that jacket. Ew. Mr. Wright, you've been lying to me. But please forgive me. He was even more of a wuss back then. Oh my goodness. But maybe he's vulnerable because he's sick at the moment. Mia, you've made our client cry. Let him. That P on his shirt, on his chest doesn't stand for Phoenix anyway. What does it stand for? I can't believe I trusted him, Mr. Wright. It was all wrong. Hehehe, that was an impressive bit of cross-examination. It stands for Peach, no! No, I was trying to figure out what she meant. It stands for pathetic. There you go. That's the tamer version. Thank you for uncovering the defendant's lies for me. It's quite clear that this man did not simply stumble upon the scene of the crime. Is my mind in the gutter? I mean, there's 2 thought processes that you can have. Maybe 3. Might be 4. There's a few other words that you can put that would go with the letter P that also could mean pathetic. Uh-oh, did I go too far? By the way, Mr. Wright. It stands for stupid. For stupid. Have you taken any you seem to have a rather bad cold. Have you taken any medicine for it? Yeah, I took some, but was the medicine that you took an over-the-counter brand called Cold Killer X? Yeah, that's right. It kills colds good. Hey, wait a second. How did you know I'm a big fan of Cold Killer X? Hee. Would you happen to have that medicine with you right now? What does this have to do? Is it because he's a pharmacology student? Well, actually, I seem to have lost it somewhere. You lost it? Does that even have anything to do with the case? Mr. Wright, shall I tell you where your cold medicine is right now? Huh? Your Honor, I'd like you to take a look at another photo from the crime scene. What's this in the victim's hands? It's Cold Killer X. That could be anybody's medication. He could have lost it anywhere. Yeah, but even I got a bottle of Cold Killer X in my apartment. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that the argument won't work. There's no doubt as to who this bottle of Cold Killer X belongs to. Especially since Mr. Wright's fingerprints are all over it. What? This still does not mean that he killed the man. Sensing his murderous intent, Mr. Swallow must have picked up the bottle of medicine dropped by Mr. Wright and had hid it in his hands. His purpose in doing so can only have been to identify his killer as Phoenix Wright. That's bull hockey. He is getting absolutely cooked. Order in the court. Your Honor, I'd like to present this photo as and bottle as evidence. Very well, the court will set them into the record. The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered in Wright's fingerprints. Also, the victim's wristwatch was broken. Broken? Yes, it ceased functioning when a large wave of electricity passed through it. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have some kind of explanation for all of this? He got electrocuted! What do you mean? This is really bad. Oh, my buttocks, my poor boy. Sir, can you stop talking about your hemorrhoids in court? Oh my God. Sir, do you need to leave? Do you need to go to the hospital? Maybe sitting down will actually be better for you. Why the heck is when things go wrong? Don't you feel stress in anywhere but your butt, sir? Wouldn't you feel stress elsewhere? Like, wouldn't your shoulders start tensing up and you're getting heart palpitations? But no, you talk about your hemorrhoids. What really happened? The truth is, I went because he called me. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 behind that building. We talked for a bit, and then at around 3 o'clock, we split up. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. I've been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 to 3 days, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. The P on the shirt stands for Preparation H. Wright is holding the Preparation H tube hostage, and this is why we're taking on the case. Mr. Wright, that's completely different from the testimony you gave previously. Oh. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I was afraid you wouldn't believe the truth. You'll forgive me if I say I hardly find your current testimony any more credible. Miss Faye, please begin your cross-examination. Oh, please, Mr. Wright, don't tell any more lies. What really happened? Truth is, I went out because he called me. Had you ever met the victim before? No, never. Don't lie to me. But that day he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. Oh, what? What was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. Did she just slap Mr. Grossberg? Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim Doug Swallow. Also, you can't say that they're still currently lovers. You want to rephrase that sentence? Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. Slapped his hemorrhoids? No, she didn't slap his butt. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet at 2:45 p.m. behind the building. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist, I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. I mean, if you're working in pharmacology, you would be working in a laboratory. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. He sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. Ambitious? I did not say that correctly. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for more details about the timing, about the pharmacology department, and forget it. Whoopsie. Pharmacology department. We could ask more about the meeting, like why he was meeting, because we saw the intro. So, you are absolutely certain that you met at 2:45? Yeah, pretty sure. That's the time class ends. But they're always doing experiments, so it doesn't matter much. Experiments? Yeah, those pharmacology guys are always in the lab whipping up something. Well, it looks like he's right about the time anyway. Goodness, let's go on with your testimony. Let's press that again and ask for the... what? Ask for the other one. Pepper jack cubes! Give me cheese. The only one who can't have it in here is Sai. They're lactose intolerant. Not that that stopped you anyway. But you're not allowed to have this cheese. It's spicy. Okay, let's ask the other question. Ask about the pharmacology students. You can't have the cheese! I was also wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high-voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high-voltage cables everywhere. High-voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high-voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. I'm also that, but it won't stop me either. But Sai can't handle spicy, so they can't have the pepper jack. Open a window and open wide. Are you gonna do a drive-by cheesing? Drive-by cheese cube? Hold it! 3 p.m. So what was it you were talking about? You know, actually, cough. that maybe we should hang out again sometime. It seems that every time you sneeze or cough, sir, you're lying. Is that your lying indicator? Hang out again sometime. I wish that were true. Then later, when I went back, I found him lying there. So he died at 3 p.m. So right after they split up? Why would you go back? Is it because of the medicine? So you say you went back. Yeah, that's when I found the body. Yes, but why did you go back in the first place? Weren't you angry with him? Well, that's right, I was. For what reason? Then why, Mr. Wright? Why did you go back there? I thought maybe we could make up. That's such a lie. Judging by the atmosphere, I'm pretty sure no one is buying this. Been taking Cold Killer X for the last 2 to 3 days. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in spring, huh? I get sick all the time. What do you mean, sick season? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all of my friends knew about it. I lost my bottle around lunchtime. So that means he lost his bottle well before 3 o'clock. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. She's gonna smack them every time the Phoenix talks about his lover. Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. It just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Oh my god. She gets violent when you talk about your girlfriend. That's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. Then the definition, or the, oh my god, I read that horribly wrong. Then the defendant returned to the scene of the, for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? Hee. I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there is still one mystery that remains. There is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is, you're correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. I could establish that the umbrella did it. Establish murder method. Let's save. Lucky Charms omelets. I don't know. That sounds kind of gross. Or maybe if it's not like an omelet, but souffle styled eggs, like fluffy eggs, and then marshmallows in between. Would that still be kind of weird? Would it be more eggy than sweet? I could probably just magically delicious. Maybe that is a pun on Lucky Charms. Wonder how many puns get lost in translation in this game. Can I establish a murder method now with what evidence, what little evidence I have? Establish murder method, can't right now. Let's go a little longer. See if we could get more evidence. I do have one idea, but it would be impossible to prove it. Mia, my dear, if you have any ideas, now is the time to present them. Mr. Grossberg, remember, silence is not golden, in court anyways. Sometimes it is. Silence is not golden, huh? Well, in that case. Oh, we're gonna establish it anyway. Yes, Miss Faye. I believe that if we were to piece together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died. That would be most impressive. Okay, so then technically I can. He, quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I totally forgot about that. Mia, where'd you gain the confidence in such a short amount of time? Yeah, because then we can use the first photo and talk about the umbrella in the back as well as the cords. Now that Miss Fade, let me see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Oh yeah, that's easy. Photo. As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well. Wyatt? God, they're all blind. But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Faye, where exactly is the this photo? A murder weapon. Right there. Well, naturally, it's right here. That's what is that? A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines the pharmacology students use in their experiments require high voltage. I wonder, why is it the machines that require the high voltage, or is there something else going on there? And because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere. So then the high voltage cable, yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation. That certainly sounds plausible. Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, I believe some praise is in order. Yeah, a whole lot of electricity. We don't talk about the basement experiments, Peach. Did you go to IVU, No Face? Do you know what's going on in the basement? How do you know about the basement? That's suspicious. Suspicious, No Face. Sketchy. No comment. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, wait, how old is he? Oh, he's 49. You know what? They both look pretty good for their age. 49 and 61. He's not, you would think he'd be more wrinkly. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use the cable as a murder weapon was the defendant. To utilize a Sir. That might be kind of difficult. Don't taste the electricity. That's not it. Yeah. Don't eat the high voltage cable like a fruit roll-up. That much is certainly true. Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer. You do? Well, what is it? His fingerprints. Where? You mean the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle? Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim was wearing a leather jacket, and as you may know, leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean Yes, it's quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand. What? I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder. He squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable. Ooh. Everyone knows that you can slurp the power lights like spaghetti. No. If it's as tempting as spaghetti or a fruit roll up. A fruit roll up. It's not food. Like we have established before. Eating rocks, bark, wood. Unless stated otherwise. It's not food. Don't eat the high voltage electric cables. Yes, I said fruit roll up. I'm sorry. Did I say it as fruit roll up or fruit throw up? You do not desire the tingly pasta. That's a different kind of that's a different kind of allergy there. If your throat is tingly after eating something, you may be allergic. But if that thing that you're eating is a high voltage cable, it might be something very different. I think we could conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us, we're done. Mr. Grossberg, my hemorrhoids never lie. The show is over. His hemorrhoids can apparently... Are you predicting the courtroom like you predict weather with old injuries, but it's your hemorrhoids? How were you able to predict how the courtroom was gonna, how this trial was gonna go before you had hemorrhoids? I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him. No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent. No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt. Your Honor. At this time, I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. Who let you in? Hi, baby boy. Hello, handsome. The baby boy. Hi. You sniffing the monkey? Hi, baby. Hi. Biggs was just let into the room. And he ventures underneath the bed to hang out with his sister. Oh, no, he doesn't. He jumps up on the bed. Is he gonna... Wait, is he gonna go where I think he's gonna go? No, did he go on the desk? Don't go on the desk, you butthole. Oh. Oh, he's covering it. There... Hold on, his butt's in the way. There he goes. There he is. The baby boy. Look at him. He graces us with his presence. No, I definitely go like a few octaves higher when I talk to my cats. You gotta, this is how they know that you're talking to them. You gotta talk to them in baby voice. Look at the baby boy. Look at you. Oh. When he has his eyes wide open, it looks like he's seen things. Yeah, I got a mushroom plush toy. There's a leaf. You can sort of see, I can't tell if he left cat hair on the webcam or if that's just hair floating around. The baby boy. Handsome baby boy. He's so fluffy. He looks disappointed. You gonna lay down? Go ahead and lay down. Oh. You still see the remnants of the rainbow on the blanket. The boy. Oh. Oh, well, there he goes. He's gone. He'll probably be back. He's probably in gremlin mode and is about to do something insanely stupid. Okay. I'm prepared to render a verdict in this case. We still have more information. Do you have something further to add, Miss Faye? Is this what you want, Mr. Wright? You still haven't told us the truth, the whole truth. If you don't say something now, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. But I can't. I just can't say it. If I told you what really happened, then I'd be... It's okay, Mr. Wright. I'm your attorney. You can trust me. Miss Faye. Put that mask back on. You're still sneezing. No matter what it is you have to say, I believe in you, and I'll represent you to the very end. Look at that serious face. We've already established the defense's guilt. There's no further need for him to say anything. Cough, cough. Wait a minute, Mr. Wright. I'll tell you what really happened. I have already told you, Mr. Wright, there's no need for further cough. I did it. I admit it, I pushed him. It's my fault. My fault that Doug... Oh. Look at the music. That girl, you shouldn't hang out with her anymore. No, it's none of your hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake. If you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. One hand in one pocket. Don't talk about her like that. Oh my god. Even though that man is sick. Grossberg gets slapped into oblivion. Oh. What you just said. Was that the truth? Yes, I was afraid that if I told the truth, everyone would think I was the murderer for sure. Well, as things currently stand, we're all absolutely convinced you are. But please give me one more chance to explain. This time, I swear I'll tell the whole truth. It'll be okay, won't it, Miss Faye? I believe in you. Oh, thank you. I still can't believe it. He really did push the victim. It feels like my hemorrhoids are doing the Harlem Shake. Sir, are you sure you have hemorrhoids and not something else? There might be... I don't think that's hemorrhoids. I think you might need to see a doctor. Doing the Harlem Shake? Is this the only analogies that this man has? Is utilizing his hemorrhoids as the point of conversation? When I pushed the victim. That guy, he was talking bad about Dolly. I lost my temper and gave him a shove. At that moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. A little while after I left, I started to get worried. So I went back, but he was just laying there, dead. Well, the explanation is really quite simple. When you pushed him, Mr. Swallow flew back and touched the electrical cable. He died from that, he died from the shock, and that, as they say, is that. A simple explanation indeed. At the time of the incident, a light rain had been falling. Wet from the rain, the victim was more easily electrocuted. Nah, he had an umbrella. But when I pushed him, there weren't any electrical cables nearby. If there had been something like that, I would have noticed it. That's true. Even a doofus like him couldn't miss that. Miss Faye, let me warn you right now that if your cross-examination doesn't yield any new facts, I intend to deliver my verdict without further delay. Are we clear on that? Yes, Your Honor. Don't give up, Mia. If he is innocent, there must be some kind of evidence somewhere that will prove it. Yeah, the umbrella. Talking bad about Dolly. So what kind of things did Mr. Swallow say to you? He said all sorts of terrible things about Dolly. He said that she was a bad girl. Hmm? 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 Is that all? Yep. Gotta defend your girlfriend. Well, Miss Faye, you heard him yourself. Oh boy, you're not doing yourself any favors here, Mr. Wright. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. Anyway, after he said that, I lost my temper and gave him a shove. Can you tell me about what happened in a little more detail? That guy, he just said what he wanted to say to me. And then he put on the jacket he was holding and started to leave. That's when I'd lost my temper and flew into a furious frenzy. It's such a funny looking picture. I just gave him a light, gentle shove to the chest. And when you did that, there was no severed cables anywhere to be seen? Right, there was nothing like that at all. But it is possible that you merely overlooked it. Well, I guess it's possible. Don't agree with him! What are you doing? Don't let that guy steamroll over you like a cheap asphalt. I believe what's important here is the moment the push occurred. Let's continue on with the testimony witness. At the moment, I heard some kind of loud noise. What kind of loud noise? Loud noise. What would you say that loud noise was, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but it was really loud, and it was like snap. You know, come to think of it, I wonder what that was. Hee 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 hee. Clearly, Your Honor, it was the sound of the victim being electrocuted. You're not qualified to decide that. What should I do? I'm treading on some dangerous ground here. I can ask for more details, because it could have been the time frame that the cord snapped, and the shove didn't mean anything for the murder side of things. Ask for more details. Mr. Wright, that loud noise, that loud noise you heard may be extremely important. So try to remember what it was. How do I put it? It was like a sharp crack. Could it have been, hurry up and tell us. When I pushed him, he dropped the umbrella he was holding. Oh, so the umbrella snapped. The umbrella broke. He fell right on top of it and it broke. That was probably the noise I heard. An umbrella, huh? And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Oh, then we could talk about how he couldn't have gotten as easily electrocuted because he was not wet before. And did that umbrella belong to the victim? Yeah, it was a plastic umbrella, cheap and frail, kind of like the owner. Cheap and frail like the owner. Then again, I wish I had any kind of umbrella. I was totally soaked to the bone. Miss Faye, what do you think? Is there something important in that testimony just now? Well, yes, it's important because it's established that he was dry. This is it, Mia, the new information you've been waiting for. Of course it's important. No, this cheap umbrella is more than important. It's vital. I want to officially have it entered into the testimony. Also, if the umbrella is plastic, they can't claim that the umbrella is what caused the electrocution. Because it's plastic, not metal. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm adjusting the way that I'm sitting. Here. There we go. How perfectly fitting. Flimsy information for a flimsy lawyer. The court agrees to the defense's request. Witness, please add the bit about the cheap umbrella to your testimony. Cheeks on the seat? My cheeks are on the seat! My tailbone just hurts, so I have to adjust my body. Which means, like, with the way that I sit, sometimes my hip will start hurting. Grandma needs to warm her bones, but it's kind of warm already, so I can't warm it more. After I shoved him, he fell down on top of his cheap umbrella. So Mr. Swallow fell on top of his umbrella, and are you certain of this? Yes, it was right there under him. Actually, if it hadn't been under him, I was planning on borrowing it for myself. The umbrella, you mean? Well, yeah, you see, I was wearing this sweater here. Dolly stayed up late for nights at a time knitting it for me. And I don't want the rain to dampen the handmade symbol of her love. Oh, my stomach is not used as your personal soccer ball, Mia. Oh my god, she kicked him this time. Ah, I'm so sorry. Continue with your testimony, witness. Anybody talks about love and Mia turns into Chun-Li and starts smacking people. Okay, last thing to press. Of course, take care of your body, Grammy Peach. I'm doing my best, though my body hates me for it right now. I just have to adjust every once in a while. I gotta turn like a rotisserie chicken, so I'm not sitting on one side for too long, because then it starts to hurt. I just can't catch a break, can I? After you shoved the victim, did you leave the scene of the crime right away? Or leave the scene right away? Yes, I did. I admit it. I was furious. You left without even checking Mr. Swallow's condition? Well, yeah, but like I said, I got worried about him later. Oh, this is the last thing to press. At that time, did you see anyone else at the scene of the crime? Oh, cough, cough. Oh, does he knows something. Nope, nobody. You are lying, good sir. Your coughing gives it away. Geez, could that stupid cough possibly sound any phonier? In that case, it's very hard to believe someone else could have been the murderer. Unless we can find something that shows his innocence from that testimony, my dear. I'm afraid the judge will make his final decision with no remorse whatsoever. Yes, sir. Right now, I need more info. Info that will help you turn up some contradictions. Didn't I do that already, or do I have to repress all of these? Yeah, the umbrella is broken. It's nowhere near him, though. He fell down on top of his umbrella. So I could press this, or I could present the umbrella to this one because he's not laying on top of his umbrella. Otherwise, he would have stayed there. Let's try presenting the photo again. Objection! Why didn't you testify about the umbrella from the very beginning? Come on, if I had mentioned that, I would have been able to counter the prosecution's argument earlier. What do you mean by that? Oh, we could probably just do it for a different reason. The cold killer, if he was shoved by surprise, when and how would he have grabbed the bottle? Yeah, that is a thought too. Take another look at the crime scene photo. According to Mr. Wright, the victim fell on top of his umbrella. However, if you look closely, the umbrella is nowhere near the victim. Actually, it's by the electrical pole. You're absolutely right. The conclusion here is obvious. After the defendant left, the victim moved from where he fell. In other words, after he was pushed by the defendant, Mr. Swallow was still alive. Yay! There we go. Oh, we messed with this poor pompadour. The victim, he moved. Mr. Payne, the umbrella in this photo, where is it now? Well, it was collected by the police at the crime scene. I want it presented as evidence immediately. Owned by the victim, found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene. I mean, would electricity still flow through plastic? But the umbrella could have been simply blown there by the wind. Not if he was on top of it. Objection! According to the testimony, the victim fell on top of the umbrella. There's simply no way it could have been blown there by the wind. Ooh. I know this matter of the umbrella seems relatively trivial, but as long as the smallest doubt remains, I cannot render final judgment. No! Look at that hair! It could fry it. So then this umbrella would be blackened at the top if it did come in contact with electricity. I must say, I still find it hard to believe that a huge hole has been blown in the prosecution's case by the defendant's testimony. Phoenix Wright's testimony added to the court record. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud snap, or a loud sound when this happened. Well done, Mia. Mr. Payne, what are you chuckling about? Pardon me, Your Honor. It seems I was expecting too much of a free ride. I was foolish to think I could establish guilt through cross-examination alone. I'm afraid I don't follow what you're saying. Let me guess. You have another witness. Exactly, and this witness's testimony will be incontrovertible? 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 Who is this witness? Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne, you don't mean Dolly. I do, Your Honor. The defendant's very own lover is a witness to the whole thing. That's right. She was at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. What? Nobody established this earlier. I don't know if I said that word right, but we're gonna move on. I'm sorry to break the bad news to you, my dear. Look how sassy. Bad news, you could be more wrong. Actually, I've been waiting for this. You can't be serious. That was a sassy hair flip. What do you, Mia, what do you mean by that? I think this is a good point for us to stop at. Court will now enter a 20-minute recess. Afterwards, we will listen to the testimony of Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. I said it right the first time, and then I just second-guessed myself. It's fine. I do this often. April 11th, 11:52 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby number 3. Miss Faye, I'm sorry about what happened back there. It's alright. At least you told us the truth in the end, Mr. Wright. Yeah, so I guess I can start to relax then, huh? Relax, my boy. You can't be serious after hiding such important facts. But the wet... I almost replaced the N with a W for next. But the next witness is my Dolly, right? She'll save me. I just know she will. Why do you think that? What do you mean? She's the love of my life, that's why. The love of your life, huh? Would you mind telling me more about you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne? I think I was gonna say Wex witness. The Wex witness. Not the wet witness. She has an umbrella. Of course she's not wet. Dolly and we first met about 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse. That's not sketchy. Why was she in the courthouse? Actually, I'm studying to be a lawyer on the side. Anyway, one day she and I just bumped into each other in the reading room downstairs. That's why I really think it was fate that brought us together. What's that necklace that he was wearing? Elmer Fudd tongue. I am going full Elmer Fudd today. And slightly Porky Pig. As soon as I first set my... Oh god, my nose. One sec. Why is it whenever I play a Phoenix Wright game, it always seems like my sinuses are slightly more clogged than usual? Is it because of all the talking that I can't normally feel it if I don't talk this much? As soon as I first set eyes on her, I knew she was the one for me. Oh, here, take a look at this. Necklace. She gave this to me on the day we met as a symbol of our love. I'm surprised she hasn't punched Grossberg yet. Peach is allergic to justice. I'm allergic to something. She had been wearing it around her neck that day, but then she took it off. But before she said it, she gave it to me. She said this, I want you to carry this. So she gave it to you as a present, I see. Why do I feel like that's premeditated? She was planning something. This darling little bottle is filled with memories of my darling little dolly. It certainly is a little bottle, all right. Makes me so happy I show it to everyone I meet. I want to share my happiness with the world. Dahlia's present borrowed from Phoenix Wright. A small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. God, what am I going to use this one for? Anyway, so after that, you and Miss Hawthorne started dating? Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she's always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now! Oh, Phoenix. Phoenix, did you ever establish that you two were dating? Like, did she ever establish that you two were dating? What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. By the way, Mr. Wright, the day you first met Dahlia Hawthorne 8 months ago, it wouldn't happen to have been on August 27th, would it? Was that my first court case? Yeah, it was, but how did you... This happened on August 27th, right here in this courthouse. What's this, a newspaper clipping? Let's see. Murder in the courthouse. Murder in the courthouse? What are you reading there? Let me see that. Oh, I see. Mia, I think I understand what you're trying to say. I think I understand why you suddenly took such a keen interest in this case. You believe there is some connection between these two cases, am I correct? Oh, this is fishy. An article from 8/28, almost 8 months ago. That's very little information to go off of. I hope you don't mind, Mr. Grossberg. I need to finish this myself. Yes, but I'm afraid what you have will not be enough, my dear. I'll go have a look in the downstairs reading room and see what else I can find. Thank you. I want to do whatever I can to be of help to you, Mia. Well, it looks like recess is about over. We better all get moving. Is this sketchy? I guess so. That recess sure seemed longer than 20 minutes, though. What if there was something about that necklace that had to be... that she gave it to Phoenix so she wasn't incriminated with something during the court session? Or maybe... So it talks about a murder in the courthouse at that time. Maybe the necklace has something to do with said murder, and she gave it to Phoenix so she didn't have it on her at the time, so she wouldn't be seen as a suspect. That's fishy. That's very fishy. April 11th, 12:13 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 2. And Phoenix was just thick enough to never get the message that she was clearly stating. No, apparently he's been in his delusions for 8 months, thinking that he has a girlfriend of 8 months that is the love of his life. I actually have no idea how he got the sweater, and she keeps telling him to give her back her necklace. Courtroom will now reconvene. Mr. Payne, please call your witness. This next witness this next person is someone who witnessed the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. There she is. Oh, doesn't she look sweet? I can't wait for her facade to be completely demolished. What's with this stiff silence? Oh. In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many witnesses. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their word. In your case, I must admit that you radiate a glow of complete sincerity. I can't believe he actually said that. Oh my god. Oh, now then, witness, can you please state your full name? Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them right down to size. And then I'll bash them with my gavel. I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You're all so nice. I almost feel right at home. Oh, God. Not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, the honor is all mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Oh, it's gonna be difficult. There is gonna be some cringing. Sir? Is there something I can help you with? You just go on and say whatever is on your mind. And this music is so ethereal. Whimsical. God, it's like a movie. I'm sure there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny wouldn't kill anyone. I just know it. Feeny! Yes, yes, I can see why you say you'd say that. What is she wearing? I don't know. It could as well be a nightgown. She's going to be a tough witness, all right. It's only took her 12 seconds to wrap them all around her little finger. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. Let's hear about what you witnessed on the day of the incident, if you please. What I witnessed. I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. All wobbly and just collapsed? He didn't push him at all? That's when Feeny noticed that I was there. I went to go and find some other students and they called the authorities. Why would you do that if he just collapsed? Wouldn't you just call... Instead of calling the police, wouldn't you call an ambulance if he just suddenly collapsed like that? I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Her shawl is defying the laws of gravity. Young lady, as old as I am, even I recall how hot the flames of young passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. Please tell us the truth. But I would never. She's just so innocent. Like a Disney princess. Yeah, she has the entourage of butterflies. That's more than enough, witness. I won't allow this to continue. What do you mean by that? Please just let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Hee, you haven't changed a bit. Mia Fey. Oh. What's this? So, you two are acquainted? Yes, we've met before. Once. These are the eyes of a cold-blooded murderer. In any case, Miss Fey, the floor is all yours. It's good to see you again, Madam Fey. Oh, Madam? I'm no one's grandma yet, girly. Madam Fey! What I witnessed. Yeah, her dress looks like it could be a nightgown. I've been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny. Now, unless I'm mistaken, Mr. Wright is in the art department. If that's the case, then what were you doing by the pharmacology department? Or building? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm studying Japanese Senryu poetry. Oh, how wonderful. It's a humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes? Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through the back area. Ah, yes, I see. That makes sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors. How else would you enter? Teleportation? Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building. So who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry, Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Dougie, Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about anyway? How could you be so mean? No, not the waterworks! Oh God, how can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Faye. Don't drive the witness down to your level. To my level? I might be demonized here. Oh my God. It's like every fake damsel. Why is it so easy for them to fake cry? Please go on. What did you see next? And suddenly Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. Are you saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never touched the victim, is that right? I was watching the whole time. Feeny never did a thing to Dougie. If I press her for no good reason, I just know the judge will get angry with me. So what should I do about her testimony just now? Yeah, because we already established that he was pushed. I have to show the contradiction? Yeah, the fingerprints on his jacket, but I don't think it talks about the jacket. I don't even have evidence for the jacket. The victim fell on top of his umbrella. It was a loud sound. Umbrella. I don't think I could use the cold killer. Okay, maybe it's a word of mouth kind of thing. Let's try. Okay, show contradiction. Feeble lies are not very becoming, Miss Hawthorne, so let's drop them, shall we? What? I would never. Shut up. Miss Faye, I will not allow you to badger this witness. I believe the defense is engaging in a fishing expedition. That is, she has no supporting... Please don't glare at me like that. I'm just doing my job. Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. Yeah, there we go. I don't even have to do anything. It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did in fact push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth. There's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just tell us everything that you saw. Yes, Your Honor. I will, if you don't mind. I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. This is legit how easily influenced some of the anime/gaming community could be. Oh, yeah, simping. There's a lot of situations like this in anime too. I hate how chunky those butterflies are. Look at him go! Those are more moths than butterflies. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. You didn't see it? Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow. Yes, that's right. Why are they in the courtroom? I don't... She has some moss in her clothing. I don't know. It didn't look like they were fighting it. I didn't hear anything unusual either. You just said that you weren't eavesdropping, so you heard something. So then what did it look like they were doing to you? I thought they were having a nice friendly afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break. That's why I wasn't really watching them all that closely. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Nothing at all, Mr. Judge. Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please proceed with your testimony. I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities. The thing is, if it was a friendly conversation, why did you go find other students? And why would they call the authorities? That seems weird. When you say students, did you mean students from the pharmacology department? Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Oh, what? Please try to stay on the topic. So, to find some pharmacology students, you went to the labs, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but in the end, I wound up not going. A group of about 10 research students came running out of the building entrance. Somehow, they all seemed to know what was going on. No, I think they called the police for a different sort of, alchemy reason? High voltage reason? Inside? The students knew what was going on? Press for more details. Yeah, they ran out for not the reasoning of death. But how could the students have known what was going on? Well, I don't know for sure that they knew what had happened. It's just they all seemed kind of excited about something. It doesn't look like I'm going to get any more info about the students. So, did the students call the police? Yes, I was so panicked. Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear. That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie, and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yes, that's got to be it. Way to go, Mia. Okay, that means I'm going to have to dig deep to find the contradiction on this one. It's hard to pay for stuff using the alchemy gold sometimes. Okay, what could I possibly present? Oh, I should have read the article. Very little information is being disclosed at this time since the victim of yesterday's incident in the district courthouse cafeteria is said to have been a lawyer. However, police are questioning the 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. Ah. I want food, but I don't know what to eat. What have you had recently? Because I think I know that you've had pasta recently. Sandwich? Soup? Didn't look like they were fighting and I didn't hear anything unusual and I went to go find some other students and they called the authorities. Just pork and beans. You could do a sandwich. Didn't... I'm gonna press this one again. Wasn't there a loud bang and she didn't hear anything unusual? Oh, yeah. Hold on. That's right, the umbrella making a loud sap noise. Found broken near an electrical pole at the crime scene, and the victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Yeah, this one. You say you didn't hear anything unusual, is that correct? Yes, that's why I was very relaxed, looking at the scenery around me. Good catch, Sai. That's nice, but I found that just a little odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And he clearly testified to the effect that when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you're really that close to the two of them, why didn't you hear this noise as well? Oh. Well, maybe the noise just wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way a noise like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer? But by all means. I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. Oh, she's going into princess mode again. You see, the truth is, I had my headphones on and I was listening to music at the time. Such an obvious... Sure that's really easy to say, but... Headphones? You mean that both of your ears were covered? The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seems as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble. Thunder and lightning, huh? Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. So I put my headphones on to block it out. I'm afraid of the sound of thunder. Well, I'm not afraid of the sound of thunder. Thank goodness. I don't think she is. With the way that she seems so conniving. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all. Wait a sec, Mia, the testimony just now. She said something that could totally change this whole case. Shh, there was lightning. Ah! Yeah. We could use this. We could use the thunder as a mean for it taking out the high voltage cable. Your Honor, there is a problem with the witness's testimony. What do you mean? Didn't you notice? She said there was lightning, correct? Yes, what about it? Well, the lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right? Mind you, his umbrella was plastic, so this might not hold up, but at least we can create the contradiction. Now's not the time for a science lesson, Miss Faye. Yes, Your Honor. Anyway, since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning? Ah! It could have been in an accident, but it was completely an accident from the beginning. I must admit that the thought had not occurred to me. Just what kind of thoughts do occur to this guy anyway? This entire case is built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. But that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes that Mr. Swallow was in fact the victim of a stray bolt. It appears the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental? All right, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that not guilty verdict now if you... Wait. I'm hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. Huh? I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there was no lightning strikes on that day at that location. Then, why did she hear that? And was she actually wearing headphones then? You're just breaking this down for me. What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case. Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what is this evidence? The affidavit? David? The pharmacology students who were conducting experiments in their labs that day. Allow me to read out the court To the court the testimony of the pharmacology students. All equipment in the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day. Was it a blackout? All the lab's equipment runs on high voltage, Your Honor. Affidavit, 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 affidavit. We talked about this? How long ago did we talk about this? Because if it was well before when we first started playing, it's been 2 years. You think I would have retained this information? You're thinking too highly of me. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely, they lost power because of the severed electrical cable. No excuse, it's been 2 years! Don't be mean to me! I can't even remember some things I said like 3 minutes ago. What do you mean? What do you mean I would remember something from 2 years ago? A year or 2 ago. 2. Definitely 2. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m. Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report. Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. It does seem like it. It seems like a legit excuse. My excuse or the excuse that I was talking about in Phoenix, right? Affidavit, 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 affidavit. According to the students, the cables were very old. They were planning on having them replaced in the near future. I see. Apparently, the cables have become so brittle that even the smallest bump caused them to break. With high voltage? That seems like a problem. The old power cable broke due to some sort of impact on 4/9 at 2:55 p.m. Then how did he die exactly at 5? At 3, sorry. They left at 3. They're saying that at 2:55. Huh. They met at 2:45. Left at 3. And supposedly it was already broken at 2:55. I can't excuse anything this Wright fellow says. Imagine if he ever became a lawyer. Total disaster in the making. Yeah, he doesn't believe me anyway. He doesn't believe me at all anyway. I have to fight tooth and nail for this judge to believe me. However, there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any small bump, then it wouldn't have snapped if it hadn't been bumped into, correct? Oh, well, I suppose you could say that. Miss Faye, do you have any thoughts regarding the cause of the severed cable? Your Honor. I don't like how this is looking one bit. I have to come up with something to try to regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion. Well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? So we could go profile. Yeah, then what if he just smacked it with the umbrella? What if that's a possibility? Because he could have broken it himself at 2:55. Found clutched in the victim's hand, covered it in Wright's fingerprints. I mean, they don't look like they're really low cables, so... What if he got up and there was wind? Oh, what if he got up and knocked himself into the pole? What if he got up after being pushed over by Phoenix and he was disoriented and went right into the pole. So then he hit the pole and gave himself an even further concussion, which knocked the cables and then electrocuted him. So then would we be using the picture itself of Doug Swallow, the profile, or the picture of the crime photo? Because there could be a possibility that because it does look like the watch is like right before the hour or right after the hour. Profile? Okay, profile. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor. No, it's not the profile. I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the mind of the defense. Okay. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? So I think that I have to use the photo itself. Because I don't think this would mean anything. I think that we could probably use either the umbrella or the photo. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm stretching. You're trying to read the time? Well, it's not relevant currently. Read the time. This is not what the information we're going for at the time. No pun intended. Yeah, just after 3 then? It's kind of hard to read it upside down. So then he would have died right after 3. Or maybe, no, the record. It said he died at 3. So then if the electricity went through him at 3, why would it stop at 3:05? Well, we have to establish how the cables broke. Yeah, and the old power cable broke due to some sort of impact at 2:55. It could have been the storm, but I don't think I have anything to say the storm. We also might be reading too much into it. So, should we say the umbrella or try using the crime photo? Not that we have repercussions for this, so maybe umbrella then. No. Okay, so then I am right. I have to use the photo. I think the photo might be the useful bit. Because if I can think about it, that we established that he got up and was not laying on top of the umbrella anymore. I think he went straight into the pole. Yeah. No? What the heck? Am I stupid? Who or what was it that caused the cable to break? It's not the umbrella. It's not Doug himself. Did we talk about the experiment? Now I'm confused. This is supposed to be a tutorial. It's supposed to be a tutorial case. Why is it? What caused the cable to break? Who or what? The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. It is time to guess, but it's kind of silly though. I would like to see what the logic of this is, but let's try Cold Killer X. No. Oh, wait, what? Hold on. I thought it was I was about to skip more dialogue. That was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. Ouch, that was harsh. Please. Okay, no, it's the same thing as before. What the heck? 3 p.m. What? Do I have to do this student's testimony specifically? Maybe it's the students that did it? I am stupid. I feel stupid. What do we cause Phoenix as the cause for it to break? But that seems also kind of silly. Maybe it's the reverberation of when he fell? Oh my god. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony. The defendant's testimony? Really? It has to be this one? The victim fell on top of his umbrella. There was a loud sound when this happened. Is it? Oh, goodness. He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., correct? Yes, that sounds right. Wait, are you saying that the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m., which fits right in Mr. Wright's timeline? In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Okay. I feel so stupid. Were we trying to establish that that didn't happen? Or I don't know anymore. My brain hurts. The prosecution also came to that same conclusion. It was that very shove that caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. I'm afraid I can't agree with you there, Mr. Payne. What's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. See the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. No, it's not. The body is. That's right, the victim banged... Oh, there we go. The victim banged into that pole as a result of being pushed. It was that impact that caused the cable to break. Well, that makes sense. And then the victim was electrocuted. I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no, it doesn't make sense at all. If the victim was shoved into the far pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground here. In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim. This seems a little backwards. The laminations of my enemy. How I've longed to hear them. It's true, the defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant... Mr. Judge, sir? May I say something? The Madam Attorney's explanation. She said some things that are a little different than I remember them. What the? Did I say that word wrong? Laminate. How do you pronounce it then? I read it as it's laminations. How is it said? I read it as it's written. How did I say it? Did I say it? Did I not say laminations, or is that not how you say it? Did I read it wrong? I don't. Where's the word? I can't go back. Did it have a T in the middle? Throwing myself under the bus. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm such an idiot. May I please testify one last time, please, Mr. Judge? No, you don't love me. Of course it's alright. Just go right ahead and give your new testimony. Is this the only reason why you want me to play Phoenix Wright, so you can have all my flubs with words? That's why you chose such a dialogue-heavy game for me. She's finally starting to show her true colors. Surely she has, like, eye drops somewhere on her person. It's so entertaining. You're so mean to me. What I witnessed, part 2. The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. And Dougie tried his best to run away from him. The Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. You said he crashed into him, so they would have both been electrocuted if that was the case. Peach Quick, you have no knowledge of the future. Warn me of her impending death. I wish I could, but I have no control over the dialogue. I have predetermined answers to questions. They would have both been electrocuted if he'd been... So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away. And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. And am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge? I hate this I hate this lady. Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Faye, you may proceed with your cross-examination. She's so pretty, but she's pretty in an evil way. Beanie pushed him twice. Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony, you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court? I was a bad girl. I know. Mr. Judge? Yes? Would you please forgive little old me? Oh my god! Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury. Come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please be more careful from now on, right? Oh my. Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge. Not at all. This judge has never been on my side even once. The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole? I know he doesn't look it, but Feeny can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. One sec. I'm gonna drink some water. Wait. Feeny is really scary when he gets mad. Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. Then Dougie tried his best to run away from him. So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold? What? Miss Vale, I have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on. Cheer them on? What? Cheer them on? What do you mean by that? Yeah, Phoenix isn't dangerous. He's as docile as a baby. Do you think that he has any capacity to cause danger? That man has noodle arms. Well, I wish the best for them both and that they would each give the fight their all. Why? That's very sweet of you to be so supportive. And what happened after? What? The Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. That doesn't sound quite right. Quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, was there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket? Well, no, there weren't. Madam Faye, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeny wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he? Yeah, but then he would also be electrocuted. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute. If he crashed into him, he'd also be dead. Am I shedding eyelashes? Oh my god. It's poking my eye. Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't actually see it. I turned my eyes away. That's understandable. Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold. If I don't figure out the contradiction here, it's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lies, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in her testimony somewhere. Think, Mia. The cold? The cold killer? What do I have? Cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted all happened in less than a minute. Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. Yeah, less than a minute, yet he died 5 minutes later. Yeah, that does seem a little fishy. Old power cable broke due to some sort of impact on 4-9 at 2:55. Okay, so we can use this. All happened in less than a minute. Present student's testimony. That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh. Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeny likes to take for his cold. It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It must have stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Faye? My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage due to the cable snapping? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p.m. 2:55! Would you care to explain to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, what exactly happened during the 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during the interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow. Order of the court, what is this all about? This is nonsense. The real murderer? Even you can't deny the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for. Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it? There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer? Miss Faye, is the defense ready to indict someone as the real killer? Indict. It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor, we are ready. Very well, but remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. This time, we save. Think very carefully before you speak, Miss Faye. Yeah, suck it, Dahlia. Now then, Miss Faye, let's have it. Who is the real killer? Dahlia! Clearly, it was Payne. Yeah, I mean, he's been trying to get this verdict as guilty since the beginning, so it might be Mr. Payne. Yeah, it's too late. I'm sorry. Well, no, actually, hold on. I want to see what happens. It's probably gonna still be the same. I don't think it's probably gonna do anything special. Let's see what happens. Oh. What's that supposed to be? Or, a bout of youthful indiscretion, Your Honor. Maybe so, but I still have to penalize you. Oh, it's not that fun. It was not that as fun. Okay. Load. Yeah, if there was dialogue, that would have been hilarious, but no, it's the usual you messed up. Now then, Miss Faye, who's the real killer? Of course it's Dahlia. There's no one else. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. What? The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing the whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a finger to stop the men dearest to you. Order, Miss Faye. What, I mean, why? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. Oh. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is very serious. Oh. Phoenix. Your Honor, please, I have something I want to say. What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Have you not seen her interact? She also just tried to accuse you of murder. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Leave my Dolly alone. Coughing all the way to the holding cell. That boy. He's got himself way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. It seems I arrived just in the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. A report on the incident 8 months ago. Yes, let me read it. Let me read this tasty information. District Courthouse Cafeteria. Date and time, August 27th, 4 p.m. Victim, Diego Armando, age 28. Occupation, lawyer. Suspect, Dahlia Hawthorne, age 19. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding another case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. Oh, we know how it got into the victim's coffee cup. A small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. And he shows it to everyone, which is not good for her. Thank you so much. This is exactly what I was hoping for. You better take a good look at it. details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Oh! Diego Armando? I see. This is why she was punching Grossberg. They were dating. Was that Wright's first hold it? You bet it was. Now that the defense has made a very serious accusation, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor, I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor. Don't worry, my dear, I have the situation well in hand. Sniffle. That is, go right ahead. Madam Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. We have to save him! We have to save him so the future can happen. I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep. Sorry, please go ahead. These guys all have no spine. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. Yeah, but then you just accused him of murder. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in the police report. It must. It does. 8 months ago, an incident occurred at the basement cafeteria of this building. What's a basement cafeteria? And then that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? About what about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case? The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence that suggests that she, in fact, had a very good reason. Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on for just a bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. How I Met My Feeny. Oh, we need to get a shield for Grossberg for this one. I met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think. Phoenix, where are you talking from? Is he still in the room? Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court. And now we enter the final act of our little drama. As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her. How I Met My Feeny. When I hear Feeny, I think of Mr. Feeny from Boy Meets World. Mr. Feeny. Oh, don't fall. Sorry, I was tossing my blanket to the side. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow? Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. Letting my emotions change so quickly, I'm ashamed of myself. No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken to calling me Judge Fickle. Ha ha ha. Oh dear. Maybe you should look for a different line of work. Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct verdict. No, he doesn't! That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini. Judgini! The fickle Judge Judgini. Goodbye, No Face. See you later. Yeah, she's only with him to try to get the bottle back, but Phoenix is so persistent in thinking that this is just a gift that he will never want to give back. The courthouse reading room, that's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him, I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? That line of questioning is a waste of time. It has nothing to do with our murder case. Miss Faye, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case, I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I'd better tread carefully. Save. I'm gonna press more. Keep pressing. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish a relevance. Please ask her to continue on with her testimony. Very well, young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room? If it pleases your Honor, the answer is simply this. I'd come to the courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. You were writing a paper on what? On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld. That's weird! Oh, that sounds like a fascinating research idea. Am I getting old? Now I've even forgotten what I've forgotten. Again, with the midlife crisis stuff. Mia, why did that girl really come to the courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully. The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. Sleep well, Wub. See you later. Have good dreams. So, what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he just looks like a typical snotty-nosed college brat. Perhaps to a woman your age, but to me, Feeny is handsome. Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne, but to the rest of the planet, he's a dime a dozen. Love is a mysterious thing, and I object to this line of questioning. If you were to look at my wife, for example, you might all be shocked. He's married? He's telling you the truth. It was truly, truly shocking. Beautiful mushroom growing tall in the darkness. It comes from cow dung. What the heck? That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeny. That's not love right there. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. Were there any bad feelings between you and Mr. Swallow? I said Mew. No, not at all. We parted on very good terms. But that can't be. Our investigation also shows that it was a clean breakup. Are you sure? Yes, it seems that they both wanted it that way. So the victim wanted to break up with her. Press further. So you're saying that Mr. Swallow also wanted to break up with you? Well, you see... Stop ejecting! Shut up! What a cruel thing to ask a lovely young lady like this. By the way, I have never once considered leaving my wife. Do you have to say that statement out loud to convince yourself that's the case? No one cares, Mr. Payne. She didn't deny it. That must mean... Doug Swallow must have seen through her little act. He must have gotten a glimpse of her true nature. Listen to me, Mia. That woman has the judge in the palm of her hand, you see. So the only way to discredit her is to find a contradiction in her testimony. Okay. Looks like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room. Research. Skipped a beat. Could I use this on one of them? We now have repercussions if we do things wrong this time. I probably could use the other report. Oh! No, we could probably just use this one. Police report, a report on the incident 8 months ago. I don't know if we're using this one first, though. August 27th, 4 p.m. Suspect. Ingested poison. I come to this courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. Can I use that on this one? That can't be true because she was here regarding another case. Yeah, that's... So, let's try... Let's try doing the newspaper clipping first, and if that doesn't work, let's try the police report. Oh yeah, no, that's wrong. Police report. Whoops. Definitely the police report. Because this one actually says her name. I thought we had to like imply it first and then say it. Let's try. Yep. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? All of the color comes out of her eyes when she's caught in a lie. What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Faye? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Did you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is Dahlia Hawthorne. Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in a criminal case just 8 months ago. Order, this is unbelievable. It's true then, the loveliest rose can hide. Miss Faye, that's not fair. You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Oh, pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Express some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. Sir, I would really love it if you stopped talking about your butt for any extended period of time. Nobody needs to know about the state of your butt. I can hardly tell which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoid. This man's entire character is all about his hemorrhoids. I hate it. I hate it so much. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat for just a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. How do you know that? Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. So that's what happened here 8 months ago. However, as you've heard from the witness's testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Nia, you're glowing with a true lawyer's aura, my dear. The proud posture and self-confidence absolutely smashing. I can imagine him just talking through his mustache. I can't make that kind of accent, but I could just imagine it. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. Press. What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential. According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case. The lawyer that was killed, he said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why didn't you tell us all what the incident was? It has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case. Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You getting involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just born under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly, I'll protect you. Phoenix. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady. Oh, Feeny, please. Oh, those two are really making me ill, albeit for decidedly different reasons. Left my seat for just a moment. How long were you gone? I've already answered all the questions for the police, but if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes? And what were you doing during that stretch of time using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Faye? Toilet? My perfect little dolly doesn't poop. Oh my god. People poop. Especially those that are lactose intolerant and eat cheese. They poop. You heard the defendant, Miss Faye. Better look next time. Oh, Feeny, please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. The line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time. Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue with your testimony. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. That's quite a bit of poison. About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons? Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drops says 1.5 fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh? Yeah, we have a bottle right here that looks like that can hold that amount. The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there. Not only that, I heard it was a special kind of poison. Special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect. Oh, and where should something like that come from? I'm sorry, all I know is what I overheard the policeman saying. So if it's impossible to detect, how'd they find out he died from poisoning? They said something about advanced chemical processes to purify it. Chemical processes? Well, oh. You got it from the pharmacology student, didn't you? You got it from Dougie. Yeah, how would they have known it's there? Impressive. Most impressive. The better question is how did the criminal get something like that? Sounds like that's the only reason why she was with Dougie. And that's the reason they didn't arrest you, because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison? I think that's a good enough reason, Madam Faye. That's right, and I think we've all had enough of Miss Faye's questions. So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison. And all we have to do is find a way to establish how she could have gotten some, right? Just great. Now just how did a lit student get a hold of poison of all things? Her boyfriend, the pharmacology student. Let's save. And I think we could probably just use the profile because I don't think that we have something specific about pharmacology in evidence. Or at least Doug specifically. Okay, so let's try using Doug Swallow itself. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison. I don't believe you. What? In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. But boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. If you recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to such a poison after all. And then it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table, you. Where's the wind in this building? Could it be? That's nothing but a... May I say something, Madame Faye? What is it, Miss Hawthorne? The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container. Well, yes, that's true. I was searched immediately after the incident took place. Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down. But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they? She's right. They even mentioned that in the report. Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small. Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying that I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof. Proof? She got me good with that. I have the proof of your lies and deception. Provide some evidence or I'll have to disallow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead. The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred. If you're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in and what happened to it? Where is the container the poison was carried in and what happened to it? A small bottle necklace given to Wright on the day they met. He shows it to everyone. Is that? Because that would make you think of like talking or putting Phoenix's profile in there, but it's the necklace itself. Those butterflies left because of her stinky lies. They were blown away by the stink. You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched. Who is this person? Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course. So the defendant was this witness's accomplice. Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. But that's a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. I have a necklace like this. It's a little amethyst, though. No, it's not amethyst. It's like fluorite? I can't remember what the crystal is called, but it holds essential oils. It's really nice. Smells awesome when you have it on you. The day that the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago, August 27th, this very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. This is quite a big necklace, actually. It's bigger than what the image shows you. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would have given her away. What, are you saying there's a deadly poison in here? No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount. No! Stinky lady. Order in the cart. Phoenix, I need you to go back. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat. Mr. Wright, why are you going through so much trouble to protect her? Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. You poor soul. Madly in love. I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time. Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway? Oh, that's so mean, but... well, I guess you must be madly in love with me too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone the real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace. Yep. Dahlia Hawthorne was not and is not madly in love with you. The only thing that she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. Yeah, because he's basically flaunting her murder weapon. My necklace. Back there in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. What a strange girl asking for a present back like that. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you met. That's why she... I don't believe you. No, that's a lie. Oh, he's good. No, it's okay, Phoenix. You'll meet somebody in the future, I'm sure. Mia, are you alright? The defendant, he's getting away. Bailiff, hurry. Oh my god, he's running away. Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. That boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? Oh my god, did he tackle me? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Are we sure we want him back in the room? Why don't we just have him in a holding cell for now? He's not helping at all. Thank goodness. Oh no. What is it? The bottle necklace, Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What in blazes are we supposed to do now? My hemorrhoids. Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just give back the necklace. I ate... Oh my god. I ate it. You what? You ate it. It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first, but yeah. Oh my god. Sir, did we just talk about there being poison in that bottle? Like remnants of poison in the bottle? Is it gonna start foaming out the mouth soon? He chewed up glass. glass and metal. Props to him for even doing that, but oh my god. Oh. What is he doing now? Your Honor, you've got to start the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have had some poison left in it. Not to mention, he's probably cutting his insides all the way down with the glass. It seems the defendant has proof in the prosecution's case for us. Clearly, that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How could you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. No, there must be some mistake. Because no, we can break this down. They can't prove that there was no poison in it because it's only lethal at 2 teaspoon dosage. Of course, it wouldn't really do much to him. It's only lethal then. The bottle may not have had any poison left in it. Either that or the poison must have lost its potency. There, it's all right, rookie. Trusting your client is the most noble thing a defense attorney can do. It is heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For an example, I would trust the witness, Mr. Hawthorne, with my very life. I don't think that's a good idea for you. You're gonna die soon. Which is why I can say that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Faye, I cannot accept your explanation for the events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand, but in a court of law, evidence is everything. I may not be able to use the excuse that a dog ate my evidence, but you witnessed it, that Phoenix ate my evidence. My client ate my evidence in front of you. Even after I prove so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now that the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up, I would like to proceed with the trial. Oh. Mr. Wright. I'm sorry, Miss Faye. It totally slipped my mind. I'm really, really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. You let me down in the worst way possible of eating a necklace in the midst of a trial. You let me down in more ways than one. How Phoenix was even more unhinged in his college days than he is now as a prosecuting attorney. No, as an attorney and a defense attorney. He ate a necklace. How strong are his teeth? What is it that you forgot to tell us? That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. A man baby. That girl, you shouldn't see her anymore. Hey, it's none of your business. I'm telling you for your sake, if you continue to see her, it's going to be bad news. You're lying. Just listen to me. There's something you need to know about that girl. Last night, someone stole some poison from our lab. Oh, poison? Yeah, because this man is so in love that he's been eating her lunches. She was gonna poison him. The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time too. It could only have been her. That girl is a thief. Stop it. Don't talk about her like that. This is what happens when you get too far blindly in love. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. Oh my god. Was this when she was putting the bottle of medicine in his hand? And she was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, the defendant is... Miss Faye, you tell him. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. Oh my god, this man is so stupid. I mean, he sort of gains a brain cell later, but doesn't feel like it because we're the ones steering him in the right direction. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, then there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye, if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Yeah, this is your last chance. Think carefully now. There's something that she desperately wanted to get back there for. Exactly who was Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Phoenix! He is the only one that she would potentially want to kill to, one, get the necklace back, and two, because he's probably annoying her. And he stated that he's been eating her lunches at college, so he can easily get poisoned. Crazy college students. There was only one person that was standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. That person was Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that's how things worked out, but let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. The person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was, in fact, you, Phoenix, right? There's no one else that it could be. But how can that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Or Mr. Wright, this must be killing him. Hang in there, I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right, the bottle necklace, that's all she cared about. But even so, why would she go so far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fall of that attorney in the basement cafeteria, Dahlia Hawthorne could only think of one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No, it can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time, but there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. To him, the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to me, or showed it to everyone he met. And to me. You mean that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be. That can't be true. Feeny, what a joke you are. Oh, there it is. Hair flip. Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne, it appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I can tell you you plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. I can't speak. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client has eaten the bottle as a snack. Well, hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting there with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? Oh. With absolutely no proof, you treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. I'm gonna save. What time to save? The ultimate price. You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No. You'd better think it over carefully, Miss Faye, or should I say, Miss Gray. Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? If I mess up here, my career as a lawyer is over. But to be honest, at this point, I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. Impossible. You can't possibly. You stupid woman. It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I will allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one. Can we do the bottle? Medicine bottle? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I could just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets the chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. In the medicine. Well then, Miss Faye, please present your evidence. Show to this court irrefutable proof that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison Mr. Wright. Covered in Wright's fingerprints. The Cold Killer X. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. The meds. It wasn't the lunch boxes she was bringing in. It was his cold medicine. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember when the defendant said in his testimony, but I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. And she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim Doug's swallow that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into the reading room, my client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poisoned bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, and she heard and saw everything that happened at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about and the cut cable, electrical cable. That's when she realized... I can't read that one. It went too fast. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Unfortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poisoned cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else hold it, in this case, a Doug Swallow. Whee! These lawyers are way too comfortable in the courtroom. How can Payne talk this much crap? He thinks he's confident. Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Huh? Yes, that's exactly, right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne. This cold medicine. I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some. Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, stinking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us. I dare you to take some of this medicine right now. You just made more pasta? What would you put on the pasta? Mia Fey. Oh! The butterflies! Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Mia Fey? She's a demon. She burned those... She burned the butterflies. Pesto and cheese? That is your typical pasta meal. Heh. That's just fine. For the time being, victory is yours. Time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge, I'll see you later too, okay? Yes. I'm going to go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. What the heck? It's finally over. But nobody said guilty, not guilty. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't showed a scrap of evidence to support this outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Winston Payne, and I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has won. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said... There, it's all right, rookie. For example, I would trust the witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my life. With my very life. So if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yes. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Oh, there goes the hair. My beautiful hair. There he is. Now he's showing his age. He's showing his age even more. Man's so stressed he lost the rest of his hair. Mr. Payne, about Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Your Honor, I'll file papers for her immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. Was it the butterflies, or was it her sweet demeanor, Judge? No lie, just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Fey. Yes, Your Honor. Was it just me, or did you and Miss Dahlia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne. This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true, my dear Dolly. Very well then, I believe I'm ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. The court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty! Yeah. Woo! The court is adjourned. It only took me 3 hours. April 11th, 3:16 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby number 3. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. If you feel like your hemorrhoids are gonna burst, you might want to go to the hospital before you bleed out. Why Mount Vesuvius? That's so gross. Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? Oof, that's rather rude. It's rude for you to bring that up in the presence of anyone. You keep that to yourself. Anyway, this case really made me think, what does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. I concur. Oh, Mr. Wright, congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking... Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. You were so delusional. What? Yeah, the dolly I know could never had said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. He is in denial! Delusional and in denial. You're right, that's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But out of all of my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. Yeah, I know your line of friends. They are much worse. Oh, what kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I'm studying to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying, but I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. If I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. I see. Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. We will, Phoenix. We will. And not a great way. Not a great way. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia has passed on to a better place. For me, this trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. And memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia's gone now, but even so, I can hear her in my mind. She's never truly gone with Maya and Pearls there. She's never truly gone. She pops up every once in a while. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But it is a story for another day. Episode 1, Turnabout Memories. The end. The stolen turnabout. Look at that nose. A brand new episode has been added. We are going to cut it off here because I'm going to try to... Because I think if I go into this case and we get back to this the day after tomorrow, I might miss some things. So we're going to pick it up, this next trial, the day after tomorrow, and we can solely focus on that, and I won't forget anything in between. My goodness. Why is it so hot in my room? Oh god, it's only gonna get worse when summer is officially here. I gotta go change my clothing. It's so hot. Beware the hemorrhoids. Why does... God, did he specifically talk about hemorrhoids in the Japanese version? Goodness. I hope that was a whole running theme there. I don't remember him talking. Did he talk about his hemorrhoids before when we had him as a witness for information? Did he ever talk about his hemorrhoids then? This man has some chronic hemorrhoid issues, and he needs to see somebody about it instead of telling the world about his hemorrhoids. He needs to tell a doctor about it. Okay. Gotta. No. Wrong one. Hello. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember him talking about his hemorrhoids like that. Maybe he was cured of his hemorrhoids before we met him again. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna wrap things up. I hope you guys had fun listening to all my flubbing of words and how I pronounce things absolutely wrong when I definitely read a word wrong. I somehow missed the numbers, the letters in between, and it becomes a whole new word. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to feed yourself, hydrate, all that good stuff. I'm going to finish the water I have and attempt to get more. Actually, I didn't drink much of this, did I? No, it's still pretty heavy. I finished my Sprite, though. Darge. Oh, we're going to be darging again pretty soon when the Elden Ring DLC comes out. Bye, thanks for feeding me. I fed you the entertainment spoon by spoon. A word by word. Sleep well when you guys go to bed. Have good dreams. If you're going to work, have a good day at work. I hope it's not stressful. As usual. I'll see you the day after tomorrow. Gonna rest my voice in between time frames. I don't think that I will ever do Phoenix Wright streams back to back because I feel like my voice will die before I even get into the next day. Okay. See you next time, guys. Goodbye.